The Lagena brothers have been a mystery for 12 seasons, with their fascination with Oak Island rooted in the legend of the Money Pit. Rick Lagena found an article in Reader's Digest about a mysterious treasure buried on the small landmass off the coast of Nova Scotia in 1965. This led to Rick becoming obsessed with the legend and reading everything he could about Oak Island. Marty Lagena, a practical business-minded individual, also became involved in the mystery. In the early 2000s, the brothers decided to investigate the mystery and joined forces with Craig Tester, a longtime friend and expert in drilling and engineering. They bought a 50% stake in Oak Island Tours Incorporation in 2006, giving them partial ownership of the island. Since then, they have spent over a decade and a half digging, searching, and unraveling more questions than answers. At the heart of everything is the Money Pit, a deep, booby-trapped hole first discovered in 1795 by 3 teenagers. They found wooden platforms every 10 feet, almost as if someone had intentionally created layers to protect whatever was at the bottom. However, just as they thought they were getting closer, the pit flooded with water, stopping them in their tracks. Every attempt to dig deeper has been met with sudden flooding, collapses, or dead ends. Modern technology has helped the Lagenas uncover traces of gold, silver, and even strange fragments of parchment, suggesting that something valuable was buried there at some point. Whether it is still there or not, that's the real question. As the brothers kept digging, new theories began to emerge, some pointing to the Knights Templar as the ones who originally hid something on Oak Island. The Templars were a secretive medieval order with enormous wealth, and when forced into hiding in the 14th century, some believe they fled to North America, bringing their riches and possibly the Holy Grail with them. The discovery of a lead cross on Oak Island in 217 AD, dating back to the Templar era, has further fueled this idea. Nolan's Cross, a strange pattern of 5 large boulders perfectly arranged in the shape of a Christian cross, might be a marker left behind by someone who wanted to guide future seekers to the treasure. There is also the theory that the treasure is not from medieval Europe at all, but rather from Spanish ships sailing in the 16th and 17th centuries. Some of the metal found underground seems to support this idea, but whether it is pirate loot or Spanish treasure, no one knows for sure. Oak Island, a mysterious island with numerous mysteries, has been the focus of treasure hunters since the 19th century. One of the most puzzling discoveries was a stone tablet pulled from the Money Pit in the 19th century, which had strange symbols translated to say, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. However, the stone disappeared in the early 20th century, and it is unclear whether it was lost or stolen. The island seems to be designed to keep its secrets buried, with flooding in the Money Pit being part of an elaborate booby trap system. Researchers have found evidence of man-made flood tunnels leading from the ocean to the Money Pit, designed to flood any excavation attempts. The legend of the curse, which states that 7 people must die before the treasure will be found, has also added a layer of danger to the already dangerous search. The Lagena brothers have been at it since 26,000 years, pouring millions of dollars, countless hours, and some of the best technology into solving this puzzle. After 12 seasons, they have found more questions than answers, but they are not giving up. Rumors have started about what the Lagenas are hiding, and people are side-eyeing the whole operation. The Lagena brothers bought into the Oak Island treasure hunt long before the History Channel jumped in, but once the cameras arrived, the search slowed down due to logistics and filming a reality show. This means that if there is gold, they are not in a hurry to find it. Viewers have joked that the real treasure is the TV money, and as long as people keep watching, there is no incentive to find anything too quickly. If they dig up some legendary treasure tomorrow, what happens? The show is over, and the History Channel is not letting go of its most profitable mystery that easily. The Curse of Oak Island is a popular TV show that has been dubbed as classic pseudo-history by academics. The show, which has been redug and overanalyzed for 2 centuries, has been framed as groundbreaking by the Lagenas and their crew. However, the show's credibility is questionable due to the lack of written documentation of the original discovery in 1795, contradictory stories, and sketchy details passed down over generations. The Curse on Oak Island is another plot device that adds suspense and makes the show feel urgent. 6 people have already died searching for treasure on the island, meaning they are just one tragedy away from finally uncovering the big secret. This curse is a perfect reality TV plot device, adding suspense and making everything feel more dangerous. Franklin D. Roosevelt, a famous leader in history, was obsessed with Oak Island and invested in a treasure hunting company because he believed French royal jewels were hidden there. However, he never found anything. If a literal US president could not solve the mystery, what are the chances that two guys from Michigan will? The Lagenas have been vague about how the money is coming from the hunt, with Rick Lagena calling the topic forbidden, and Marty stating it was basically coming from them. This raises questions about whether there are private investors or the History Channel footing a bigger bill than they let on. The show is not a total scam, as the Lagenas seemed genuinely obsessed with the treasure and were already searching before TV cameras showed up. However, the show may be dragging out the search to maximize ratings and potentially finding artifacts suspiciously at the right moment. As the History Channel continues to squeeze every last bit of entertainment value out of the island, viewers will likely continue to watch more shocking discoveries instead of real answers. Share your opinion in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more updates. The Lagena brothers have finally found gold on Oak Island, a small, tree-covered island off the coast of Nova Scotia. For over 200 years, treasure hunters have been obsessed with the island due to legends that it holds an incredible treasure, including gold, jewels, and ancient artifacts. However, the treasure has remained just out of reach until now. After a decade of high-tech exploration, heavy drilling, and following every possible clue, the Lagena brothers and their team have found actual proof that treasure might be closer than ever before. The team focused on borehole DN11.5, which was one of several carefully chosen drill sites based on previous discoveries and high-tech surveys. They had already encountered hints of man-made structures underground, so as the drill bit punched through the ground, all eyes were on the results. At around 90 feet deep, something unusual happened. The drill broke through into open space, meaning they found a void or empty chamber underground. This was a huge deal because natural underground voids are extremely rare in this area. If there is open space down there, someone put it there, and that someone may have been hiding treasure. To find out, the team called in geologist Terry Matheson to take a closer look. He observed that the void at DN11.5 lined up perfectly with two other boreholes, DN12.5 and DN13.5, where previous drilling had also uncovered evidence of tunnels. That meant one thing. This was not just some random hole. They had discovered a part of a larger underground structure. To find out what was inside the newly discovered void, the team extracted core samples, or cylindrical chunks of earth and material pulled straight from the hole. As they examined the samples, they hit something solid. This was wood at 90 feet deep, which was man-made and almost certainly old. The team sent the sample to a lab for testing to confirm whether this wood came from a natural collapse, an old searcher tunnel, or something much older and more significant. The team at the Oak Island Interpretive Center conducted a lab test using an X-ray fluorescence spectrometer to detect tiny traces of elements in solid objects. They found that the wood contained common elements, but they also found gold. This was significant because wood does not randomly contain gold, meaning either it had been physically touching the wood at some point in the past, or water containing dissolved gold had soaked into the wood over time. The team now has a clear direction for their next move, as finding gold in the wood confirms that something valuable is buried in this area. With evidence from boreholes DN11.5, DN12.5, and DN13.5 all lining up, they have a clear direction for their next move. The team plans to continue drilling and pulling up samples to find the legendary Oak Island treasure. They have also found gold in the old shaft, which was originally over 80 feet deep, abandoned, and barely standing. Recent tests had detected high traces of gold in the surrounding water, meaning that something valuable could be nearby. If gold was in the water, it could be coming from an undiscovered treasure vault. Dumas Contracting Limited was responsible for the excavation and aimed to drill 12 probe holes, 3 per wall, to search for any signs of man-made structures or valuable materials. Brandon Vanderhooft from Dumas guided the crew through the process, targeting a specific depth where past drilling had hit a 10-foot-wide underground void just southwest of the shaft. As the powerful hydraulic earth drill cut through the walls of the shaft, it moved effortlessly through soil and clay, but then punched into open space. That's where they found another void, right where they expected it. This was not a natural cavity in the ground, but a tunnel or chamber. The discovery immediately made the team wonder if this was a collapsed hiding place for treasure or a connection to the money pit. To confirm whether this was a man-made void, the drill pulled up chunks of material like soil, clay, and something else. It was found that this was buried timber, meaning a structure once existed down there. If gold in the water had also seeped into the wood over time, they were officially on the right path. The Lagena brothers discovered gold in a wood on Oak Island, marking a significant discovery in their long-standing treasure hunt. Emma Culligan, the team's archaeometallurgist, used an X-ray fluorescent spectrometer to scan the wood, detecting even the smallest traces of metals. The gold detected in the wood measured at 0.11% concentration, which is significant as gold is one of the rarest elements in nature. This was direct evidence of gold being nearby, and the team realized they were not just chasing legends anymore. The garden shaft was an active lead, with a 10-foot void nearby, potentially a treasure chamber, and gold traces in the water suggesting something valuable underground. The gold was confirmed in the wood, meaning gold objects had been in contact with this structure. The team also found the mysterious gold brooch a few seasons ago, which they believed was made of gold, but were not sure. To confirm its composition, Marty, Alex, and Craig took the artifact to St. Mary's University in Halifax for detailed analysis. Dr. Krista Brosseau and her colleague Dr. Xiang Yang used a scanning electron microscope to examine the chemical composition of the metal at a microscopic level. As the analysis progressed, the results were clear that the brooch really contained gold. The gold was found in specific areas, suggesting that parts of the brooch were either gold-plated or had significant gold content. Alongside gold, traces of copper were also detected, indicating that the piece may have been crafted using mixed metals. The presence on Oak Island raised new theories, such as it coming from a wealthy European traveler or noble family, being lost, discarded, or hidden centuries ago, or possibly part of a larger treasure hoard belonging to pirates or secretive groups like the Freemasons or Knights Templar. Some speculated it could have come from a shipwreck washing ashore with other valuable cargo. The gold traces were also detected in the surrounding area, suggesting that gold was not just found on a single artifact, but could be buried nearby. The Lagena brothers are close to uncovering the legendary riches long rumored to be hidden on Oak Island.